Before I start this video, I want to ask you to support me by subscribing to my channel. And please like this video if you find it helpful. And of course, if you have some questions or suggestions, welcome to the comments. And we jump right in.
Hi everyone! In today's video, I would like to touch on the most useful terminal commands that you can use to debugging your Symfony application. Note that all terminal commands will begin with the d_php alias, which is a shorthand for the command docker compose exec php. This command used in Docker Compose to execute a command in a running container named php that is defined in the Docker Compose YML file. And we start from the command which displays information about your Symfony application. The version of Symfony being used is 6.1.12. This version of Symfony is not a LTS version as indicated by the no value in the long-term support field. The end of maintenance and end of life fields indicate that maintenance and support for this version of Symfony ended in January 2023. So it may not be receiving security updates or bug fixes anymore. The kernel type is app/kernel. This is the default name for the kernel class in a Symfony application. Also, it may be customized. The environment is dev, which indicates that the application is running in a development environment. This is typically used during development and testing as opposed to production. Debugging is enabled as indicated by the debug field being set to true. This can be useful for identifying and fixing issues during development. The character set being used is UTF-8, which is a widely used character encoding that supports a wide range of characters from various languages. The cache directory and the build directory are both located in ./var/cache/dev, which is the default location for the cache and build directories in a Symfony application running in the dev environment. The log directory is located in ./var/log, which is a default location for log files in a Symfony application. It appears that the log directory is currently empty, as indicated by the 0 bytes size. The version of PHP being used is 8.1.0, which is the latest stable version of PHP as of April 2023. The architecture is 64 bits, which indicates that the operating system is capable of running 64-bit applications. The intl local field is set to n/a, which may indicate that the internalization extension for PHP is not installed or not configured. It can be particularly useful in web applications that need to support multiple languages and locals, as it provides a standardized and comprehensive set of tools for working with international text and data. The time zone is set to UTC, which is a Coordinated Universal Time Standard and is often used as a reference time in software systems. Opcache is disabled as indicated by the opcache field being set to false. Opcache is a bytecode cache that can improve PHP performance. APCU also disabled as indicated by the APCU field being set to false. APCU is an opcode cache and data store that can also improve PHP performance. Xdebug is enabled as indicated by the Xdebug field being set to true. Xdebug is a popular debugging extension for PHP that can help with troubleshooting and profiling. Let's summarize. This command can be useful for getting a quick overview of your application's configuration and dependencies, and can help with troubleshooting issues related to configuration or compatibility. Next comes the debug config group of commands. Let's execute first command and then I'll tell you more about it. When you run this command without any arguments, it will display a list of all of the registered bundles and their extension alias, along with instructions on how to use the command to dump a configuration for a specific bundle or option. The next command will be the same, but with the bundle name added as the first argument. This command is used to dump the actual configuration of the specific bundle in a Symfony application, framework bundle in this case. When you execute this command, it will display the final merge configuration of the framework bundle after all configuration files and overrides have been applied. The output will include all the configuration options and their values for this bundle. Also, in the debug config command, we can add a second argument which will dump the configuration for some specific option. When you execute this command, it will display the final match configuration of the router component of the framework bundle after all configuration files and overrides have been applied. The output will include all the configuration options and their values for this component. Note that router configuration is a sub-key of the framework bundle configuration. Hence, the need to specify both framework bundle and router as arguments. In Symfony framework, to dump the default configuration reference for the specific component, framework in this case, you can use next command. When you run this command in the terminal, Symfony will output the default configuration values for the framework component, including all the available configuration options with their default values, descriptions, and examples. This information is very useful when you need to customize the configuration of the framework component in your Symfony application. Next debug command lists all the services that can be autowired by the dependency injection container. This command can be useful for debugging dependency injection issues and identifying which services are available for use in your application. Next command allows you to list and debug all the services, public and private, registered in the dependency injection container and their PHP classes. You can use various options and arguments with this command to filter and format the output. For example, you can use the Show Hidden option to display hidden services too, those whose ID starts with a dot. Or you can use the tag option to filter the lists of services by a specific tag. By the way, partial search is available here, but only starting from Symfony version 6.2. The debug container command in Symfony can help you solve various debugging issues. First, the command can help you identify missing dependencies in a service definition, which can lead to errors at runtime. Second, the command can help you identify duplicate service definitions, which can cause conflicts and unexpected behavior. Third, the command can help you identify and troubleshoot service definitions that are invalid or do not conform to the expected structure. Debug container command can provide detailed information about a single service by specifying its ID as an argument. This is the identifier for service in the container. This is fully qualified class name of the service. This is any tags that have been applied to the service. Whether the service is public or not. If the service is not public, it cannot be accessed from outside the container. Whether the service is synthetic or not. Synthetic services are not instantiated from a class but are generated dynamically by the container. Whether the service is lazy loaded or not. Lazy loaded services are only instantiated when they are actually needed. Whether the service is shared or not. Shared services return the same instance of the service on each request. Whether the service is abstract or not. Abstract services cannot be instantiated directly. Whether the service autowired or not. Autowired services are automatically injected with their dependencies by the container. Whether the service is auto-configured or not, auto-configured services have their configuration automatically applied based on the configuration rules defined in the container. This information can be useful for troubleshooting issues with the service, such as identifying its dependencies, configuration options, and other metadata associated with it. By understanding how a service is defined and configured, you can more easily identify and resolve issues related to that service. If you need to view all the registered event listeners in your application, just use this command. It's the name of the event that the listener is registered to. It refers to the order in which the event listeners are executed when an event is dispatched. It is the class and method name of the listener, and it is the priority of the listener. When you run this command, it displays a table that lists all the events in the application and the listeners registered for each event, along with their priorities and callables. This can be useful for debugging and verifying that the correct listeners are being registered and executed in the correct order. You can also use this command to view information about a specific event by passing the event name as an argument. For example, to view information about the kernel request event, you would run This would display a table showing the listeners registered for the kernel request event, along with their priorities and callables. Also, you can get everything which partition matches the event name. The security system in Symfony uses an event dispatcher per firewall, which means that the different firewalls can have their own event dispatchers. To get the registered listeners for a particular event dispatcher, you can use the following command. So, 2- dispatcher is the option used to specify the event dispatcher you want to inspect, and security.event_dispatcher.main is the name of the event dispatcher that I want to inspect. This information can be useful for debugging security-related issues in your Symfony application, as it helps you understand how the security system is working and which events are being dispatched by the system. Next comes a group of commands that helps debug roles. And the first command, which I'll show you, lists all the roles defined in your Symfony application. Note that this command is available only in Symfony versions 2.8 and higher. In older versions, the equivalent commands is php app/console router debug. So, when you execute this command, Symfony will output a table containing information about each route, such as the name, method, scam, host, path, and the route matches. Let's analyze each column in more detail. This column shows the name of the route, which is used to refer to the route in code and generate URLs. This column shows the HTTP method that the route matches, such as get, post, put, delete, or any, for any method. This column shows the URI scheme that the route matches, such as HTTP or HTTPS. This column shows the host that the route matches. It can be a domain name, an IP address, or any to match any host. This column shows the path that the route matches, which is a part of the URL after the host and before any query parameters or fragments. Let's summarize. This command is useful for debugging and testing purposes, as it allows you to verify that the routes in your application are correctly defined and working as expected. It can be helpful for understanding how Symfony's routing system works and for identifying any potential issues with your application's routing configuration. The following command also uses to debugging routes. It looks the same as the previous one, plus the name of the specific route. It displays detailed information about a specific route. This is a name for the route, which can be used to generate URLs and identify the route in other parts of the Symfony framework. This is the URL path that this route will match. In this case, the route will only match requests to the route path. This is a regular expression that the route's path will be matched against. This expression matches only the route path, and these flags indicate that the expression should be treated as a single line string and that Unicode characters should be supported. This is the host name that this route will match. In this case, the route will match requests to any host name. This is a regular expression that the route's host will be matched against. Since the host property is set to any, this value is empty. This is the protocol scam that this route will match. In this case, the route will match request over any protocol scam. This is the HTTP method that this route will match. In this case, the route will match requests with any HTTP method. This is any additional requirements that a request must meet in order for this route to match. In this case, there are no custom requirements. This is the fully qualified class name of the Symfony route class that this route corresponds to. This is an array of default values for the route's parameters. In this case, the controller indicating that the route will be handled by the main method of the myController class in the app controller namespace. This is an array of options for this road. Compiler class K indicating the class that will compile this road. The UTF-8K is set to true, indicating that this road supports UTF-8 characters. Let's summarize. This command is useful when you want to quickly check the configuration of a specific road in your Symfony application. Let's move on to the consideration of a group of commands that will help in debugging Twig templates. Using next command, you can list all the information available about Twig in your application. This information includes the names of the available functions, filters, tests, global variables. The debug Twig command in Symfony can be helpful in such cases. First, if you are encountering an issue with a specific function, filter, or test in your Twig template, you can use this command to verify that it is available and spelled correctly. Second, if you are encountering an issue with an undefined variable in your Twig template, you can use this command to verify that the variable is available and spelled correctly. And third, by running this command, you can view a list of all available namespaces of Twig templates. This can help to ensure that the templates are correctly referenced in other parts of the application, such as routing or configuration files, and can aid in debugging issues related to template loading and inheritance. You can use the debug Twig command in Symfony to display the physical file path of a Twig template. This command can help you to quickly identify and resolve issues with individual templates files, such as detecting location of the template file, which can help you to troubleshoot issues related to file path or missing templates, or verifying that the namespace is correctly configured and that the template is located in the correct directory. Also, for debugging Twig templates, you can use the lint Twig command. It checks the syntax of Twig templates for errors. Running it before deploying your application to production can help catch any syntax errors that may cause issues with your application's functionality. To check all templates, use this command. To check all templates in the specific folder, use this command. To check specific template, use this command. In addition to checking for syntax errors, the lint Twig command can also be used to identify any deprecated features used in your Twig templates.
For this, you just need to add to the command specific option. I'll show it. And the last command for today is a command used in Symfony to validate the mapping information provided by Doctrine. When you run Doctrine schema validate command, Doctrine checks if the mapping information in your Symfony project's entities matches the schema of the database. If any discrepancies are found, the command will display the error message indicating what is wrong with the schema or mapping. This command is helpful in catching any issues with the database schema before you run migration or deployment, as it can help prevent unexpected errors and data loss. It is recommended to run this command regularly, especially when making changes to your entity classes. And for today it's all. Thanks for watching.
I hope you enjoy this video and see you next time.